Okay, so this is the fourth time I've filmed this. I tried a couple times on my camera. Then when I finished, I realized I have no way to upload an SD card on my laptop. So we're going with the phone. Today I thought I would tell you a little bit more about my host family. So my host mom, whose name is Aurora, she is this beautiful woman who is so kind and accommodating and patient with me. She speaks really slowly so that I can understand her, and she knows when I can't understand her and she'll repeat. But she also just invites me to go to things with her friends, which I think is the sweetest thing. She's invited me a couple times to go get a beer with them, or once even to like go on this day hike. I didn't end up doing it, but the fact that she invited me, I'm so grateful that I have a host family that includes me in their activities. That's exactly what I wanted, and the fact that I was placed in this family, I'm so grateful. And then there's Maria. Maria is so down to earth and really smart. She speaks English a little bit because she goes to a bilingual school, so she'll practice her English with me and I'll respond in Spanish. And that makes me really comfortable because she'll speak slower in English. I feel more allowed to take my time when speaking Spanish. So I will try to say more rather than, I don't know exactly how to say that, so I'm just not going to say anything. She's really into K-pop, so she loves BTS and Stray Kids, which they say Stray Kids. So funny. And she's shown me a couple of their videos, and she'll do the dance moves along to the video. So that's Maria, and then her younger brother, Ignacio. The first time I met him, I knew he was a fireball. He's still such a fireball. He's really just a character. He's so sassy and loves to be the center of attention and is not always the most obedient child. There are many times when his mom will say, Ignacio, go take a shower. He's like, no, I don't want to, or whatever. Or put away your phone, put away the computer, don't watch any more Fortnite, and he just completely ignores it. And it makes me think back to my teenage years, preteen years. Did I do that? I don't remember, honestly. Probably. I probably did that. To see how a mom has to deal with that has been really fascinating and eye-opening. One of the first days I was here, it was just me and my host mom having lunch, and she was talking about mothering and parenting and living as an adult, when having to move and dealing with all the stuff that you have to do when you move and paying for things and taking care of the kids and having to deal with trading the kids off between the parents. And I was just astounded by how difficult it was. And I said, it is so difficult to be a mom. So that's one thing I really like about living in this house. With the mom, I get to talk about some bigger things, also some more mundane daily activities, like, oh, I need to go to the store, we need some more bread, I think we're out of this and this, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then with Maria, I get to talk about, so there's this song that just came out from BTS, do you want to listen to it? And then we can talk about it. With Ignacio, I don't really talk to him much, so he's just off doing his own thing. But the fact that I can have different relationships in my house and have different types of conversations is really valuable to me. There's a game that Ignacio will sometimes take out and play after dinner, which is basically charades, but they give you the word in 4 languages, including English. So sometimes I'll answer in English, but he keeps going because he didn't understand me. Or when they finally do guess it, he'll put down the card, picking up the next one, but he'll say the previous one in English. So there's one pilot, he'll say pilot. There's orange, he'll say orange. His accent makes my heart shimmer. I don't know how else to say it, but just oh, so cute. He's also a horrible actor. So bad. So bad. He will mouth out a lot of the words and give you clues verbally, and we say, Ignacio, this is charades, you can't speak. But he just can't act it out, so he kind of prompts us with words. It's very, very funny. One thing I thought was very interesting about this family is they have a house right next to their grandfather's, like 15 minutes outside of the city. They'll spend a lot of their summers there. It makes me think of how my aunt has a beach house about 10 or 15 minutes away from my grandparents in Connecticut, and how we used to spend 3 weeks or a month up in Connecticut just going to the beach and spending time with family. But I don't think that that's very common with American families. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But the fact that these families do and they value intergenerational relationships so highly is really fascinating to me. And I don't know if it plays into the stereotype of Spanish and Latin American families being very close with their family, or if it just reflects that. I don't know. But either way, this family does, and I think that that's really cool. So overall, I'm so happy with my placement. It is such a lively house, and the attention isn't all on me all the time. If it were just me and a host mom, I would feel so much more self-conscious, I think. But here I feel free to more just be myself and be relaxed. I am so grateful for this family, and I'm gonna miss them when I leave, I think. I mean, I've only been here 2.5 weeks, but they've been very, very welcoming. We've gotten along really well, and for that I'm very happy and grateful. I wanted to finish with just some expressions in Spanish. We learned about them a couple days ago in class, and some of them made me laugh so hard because they're so random. But then when you think about it, like, English expressions are so random. If you think about, oh, she's so hot. What does temperature have to do with attraction? It just doesn't really make sense. So the first one that we learned was the equivalent of "you're my cup of tea." Again, what? Like, the British probably valued tea very highly. In Spain, they value oranges very highly. So instead of saying "you're my cup of tea," you would say "eres mi media naranja," which is like you slice the orange down the middle. It's the middle of the orange. You're my middle orange. There's also "eres mi tinto de verano," which is like "you're my summer wine." Like my summer red wine. Then there's also kind of like "that girl's so hot." In Spanish, she would say "la chica está como un queso." That girl is like a cheese. I think that's the one that got me the most. Like, how flattering, I guess? Well, I don't know. That one might be my favorite. I'm not sure. And then lastly, I don't say this often, but I will say this. The equivalent of "that's the shit" is "es la leche." That's the milk. But you're my cup of tea, you're my middle orange, you're my summer red wine, baby.